Reverend Sir Arlene Freed of the Correllian News Service, coming to you from the Parliament of World Religions. And I'm with Sabeel Ahmed of the Muslim faith, who was kind enough to be interviewed today. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So please tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Sabeel Ahmed. I came to the parliament on behalf of my organization, which is called Gain Peace. I'm the director of it, and we are one of the sponsors of this parliament.
Oh, thank you then so much. I was unaware of that. So can you tell me what is Gain and Peace or Gain Peace?
So we are an Islamic organization, and our main purpose is to share the beautiful, peaceful message of Islam that has often been maligned by some people or by the media. So to share the beauty of Islam and to correct the misconceptions. And thirdly, really important, to work with people of any faith or all faiths or no faiths for the common good of society.
That's excellent. Thank you. Now, what are some of the misconceptions that people have had of Islam?
Okay, many. I was going to ask you that question. What do you think are some of the misconceptions? Why don't you say some, then I can say some. What do you think?
Well, I'm the type of person who loves all people, so I'm really not sure specifically what they are.
So there was a survey that came out in USA Today, and according to the survey, when they did the survey of the common Americans, the number one misconception according to people is that women are oppressed, women don't have a voice, identity, equality. So that's number one. And then there are a few others like jihad and Sharia, polygamy, things of that nature, yeah.
So tell me about those. Tell me about what it is that the truth about those particular subjects, please.
Sure. So misconceptions compared to the realities. So it's really important for us, we humans, sometimes we judge each other or our faiths, our theology, based upon some practices of a few individuals. But I think that's not the right way to look at any faith. So what I say to people is, let's have a demarcation between the cultural practices and the actual faith of Islam. So many a times the media does not do justice to the faith of Islam because it portrays some women, since we are speaking about the topic of women, about some women in some cultures in which their rights are taken away, and it gives the perception as if those are the teachings of Islam, the faith. But that's not the case though, because I can take, for example, the faith of Catholicism, right? And when you look into the South America, predominantly that's Catholic, but you have high crime rate, you have homicides, you have drug abuse. But I don't want to look at that condition and judge Catholicism. In the same way, what I say is, when you take a look at the faith of Islam, Islam has given humongous rights to women, empowerment, uplifting, freedom to women. That is not reflected actually in the culture. And obviously your question can be, all right, Sabeel, okay, tell us what are those rights, correct? Correct. So on Thursday, I have a lecture. I had a lecture about women's rights are human rights, right here in the parliament. And I mentioned quite a few of those. So I will mention just a few just to let the viewers know this is the reality compared to the culture. Now, in this country, not until 1920, women, they won the right to vote. Islam gave that right to have a say in the political process way back in the 7th century. I'm speaking about Islam, all right? So Islam was far more progressive for 12 centuries, even before the rights in this country. In the state of Illinois, so I'm from Chicago. So in the state of Illinois, not until 1861, women, they won the right to own property. Maybe in your state, across the US, about the same. And even those women who won the right to own property, they were white Caucasian married ladies, not others, by the way. But Islam gave that right way back in the 7th century.
And do they still have that right today?
Sure. Ask my wife. She say 100%. Yeah. Then I'll give you one more, right? Long list. I'll give you one more. the right to keep the last name after the marriage. We just take it for granted in this century. But when I got married in the DuPage County, about maybe half an hour from here, the clerk asked my wife, okay, what should we change your last name to? My wife was not happy. She looked at the clerk and said, why do you want to change my name, change his name, right? She has the right, she knows her rights, and she was standing for her right. Not until the 1800s in this country, women won right to have the last name upon marriage. And then I have a long list of other rights, but those are just a few to get started.
Thank you. That is very interesting. It's very interesting to see what that difference between America and the Islamic tradition itself. So
should I give you one quick one?
Please.
That is so amazing. One more right, then we'll move on to.
Please.
Not until the 1800s in this country, women won the right to go for higher education. In this country, I'm saying. We just take it for granted nowadays, but it was not so 200 years ago. The oldest continuous university in the whole world, it was established by Muslim ladies. Amazing, right? This was done in 859 CE in Morocco in the city of Fez. And the university's name is Correllians. So this was before Harvard and Oxford and Cambridge and Penn State, any university in the Western Hemisphere. It were the Muslim ladies who were establishing universities, hospitals, and pharmacies. And this is according to Encyclopedia Britannica and UNESCO. So those are things that they don't teach in the schools and colleges. That's not broadcasted by the popular culture and the media, but important for us to know that this is the history of Islam. This is the Islamic faith, how it empowered women, and we can see the reflection of that.
Majority of our audience is pagan or Wiccan of that and those faiths. How are we represented within that the culture of Islam?
Sure. If you can give me maybe 10 seconds to 30 seconds about what is the main theology of your faith, then I can customize my message.
Well, for instance, the Correllians itself believe in one deity, but many faces, and we view it as a diamond. So there are many times that we worship, you'll see us worship multiple different deities, but we feel that they all go back to one. And other things, for instance, is within the Correllians, we believe everybody has freedom of their own body to do with as they feel is best for that person.
Good. Thanks for that explanation. There is a passage in the Quran that speaks to all of humanity, and hope you guys will like that and love it. This is in chapter 49 of the Quran, verse number 13. I'm not sure if they have read the Quran. You can get a free copy. We have booth downstairs. Online, you can get it. So chapter 49, verse number 13 of the Quran, God is addressing to all of humanity, and God is saying that, O humanity, O mankind, I have created you from one single male and one single female, and made you into nations and peoples and tribes, that you get to know each other. Not that you may hate and despite and discriminate with each other, you get to know each other. Then the verse continues, that the best amongst you is the one who is a God-fearing, well-mannered, and a good person. So I would say that yes, we have the differences. But a good place for us to start is that we are part of one human family and there is a creator. Second important thing would be for the message to our, people from the pagan background, all right, would be that yes, it is true that, we believe in higher power. It is equally true that what we say from the Islamic faith, that there is a creator and that creator is one. He has wonderful names and attributes. He is all forgiving, he's merciful, loving, guiding creator. So once we believe in those attributes, we have hope. We see the unity of humanity. The third important place to start for all of us would be to also say that if there is a creator, then we should look for and follow his guidance, the creator's guidance. So where is that guidance? Obviously, we say that many times God has sent many prophets and scriptures, and the last time he sent is through Muhammad, peace be upon him. and we consider him as the last and the final prophet. Before him, many prophets came. Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, right? Many prophets. And the last important message for our brothers and sisters from the pagan background would be this, that this life is a short life. One day we have to pass away. So it's important for us that according to the Islamic faith, that we stand in front of God and God is going to judge us based upon how we live this life as brothers and sisters, following God's guidance, sharing justice, unity, morality, and peace. If we do that, inshallah, God willing, God by His mercy will put us into paradise. And that's the best place that all of us we aspire. Not only in paradise up there, but we can form a mini paradise here by following these commandments. And that's the message of Islam, and that's the message of peace.
Thank you so much, Sabeel, for being here. And this has been Reverend Sir Arlene Freed of the Correllian News Service, coming to you from the Parliament of World Religions.